Welcome back to Normal Baseball. Today we're going to be doing one New Year's resolution for every team in the American League West. Let's do it. What's going on? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Normal Baseball Podcast. I'm Alex Normal Dog. That is Lewis. And today we are going to be doing one New Year's resolution for every team in the American League West. Obviously, a New Year's resolution is something you want to do different next season than you did last season. So we're going to be doing those for every team. Just what they could do different. Some just resolutions. We all know what New Year's resolutions are. Come on, let's be honest here.
Let's go do better.
Thank you guys in advance for listening, watching, viewing, sharing, subscribing, all that fun jazz, following. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, or follow the podcast if you're listening. Today we're doing the AL West, and I think we should just get right into it because the first one I have involves the Houston Astros, the ones I am wearing on my hat right now. This is the only one, I'm going to be honest, this is the only one that I have that I genuinely struggled with.
Yeah.
My first resolution, it's written on my paper right now. It says literally nothing. But you could say make do without Justin Verlander. Okay. Because they lose Justin Verlander, that's the ace of their rotation. But I don't think they're going to have a problem. They have their rotation, Framber, Javier, McCullers, Garcia, Urquidy. I mean, it's a great rotation without Justin Verlander in it. Obviously, they're taking a hit without Verlander in it, but I think you're just fine, if I'm being honest. It was really hard to do this because their team, they won the World Series. Their team is exactly the same, except they added Jose Abreu, who is a guy that can bat 300. Yep. So he literally had almost 700 at bats plate appearances last season and batted 300. They got 10 times better by adding one player. They got more dangerous. It's kind of ridiculous. Good for the Astros. But I do think that making do without Justin Verlander is a decently important thing to do.
Yeah, you know what? Make do without the unanimous Cy Young winner. Go do it, Astros.
Exactly. It's hard to. It's not gonna be a flawless transition. They're gonna be missing their ace. Now Framber is their ace.
To argue though, they do have 4 aces on the staff, along with Hunter Brown, who's probably gonna be the 5th starter this year. And
depends.
And he is also a guy to look out for because I think he is one of the greatest pitchers in their organization.
I will say, one thing the Astros can do a little better, which they added to, is they were 12th in batting average last season. Team batting average, they were 12th. They added a guy who bats 300, so there you go, that helps. They were 7th in OPS last year with a 743 OPS. They added another guy who gets a high OPS over 743. And then their pitching was incredible.
Solid.
Second best ERA in baseball.
Yep.
For starting pitching at 2.95. Second best WHIP in baseball for starting pitching, 1.066. And as far as their relievers go, best ERA in baseball for the bullpen with 2.8. Fifth best WHIP, and then first best strikeouts per 9 with 10.4. Just not much bad to say about this team at all.
Their offense was unstoppable, and their pitching was unhittable.
That's all there is to it.
That is it. Next team.
Yeah, that's World Series champions. What much is there to fix? When you win the World Series,
with arguably one of the most complete teams in baseball history,
and all you lose is Trey Mancini,
and Justin Verlander,
and Nico Goodrum,
and Justin Verlander,
and Yuli Gurriel,
and Justin Verlander,
and Christian Vasquez,
they'll be fine.
They'll be fine. They will be more than fine. Astros, can we just give them a round of applause? I mean, why are you so goddamn good?
As of, I believe this episode's going up on Wednesday, we are still giving out claps to the Houston Astros because that's how fucking good their team is.
All right, next team. That was the easiest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Next team is the Seattle Mariners, who won 90 games last season, 90 and 72. Defied the odds. Played very good with their young team.
First time in the playoffs in 21 years.
Broke their 21-year playoff drought, like you said. It was an interesting year for the Mariners. I think their New Year's resolution for next season is to win the American League West.
Oh, well.
I think they made moves this season. They added Colton Wong, Teoscar Hernandez, Cooper Hamel, and, of course, Trevor Gott for their bullpen. But they made additions to their team this season. Obviously, they lose Adam Frazier, who honestly was not amazing for them last season. They lost Carlos Santana, who they can do without. Maybe they'll pick up, dare I say, King Louis V.
Luke the Duke
Voit. Mitch Haniger they lose, which kind of sucked, but they went most of last season without him anyway.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
And they also got Cooper Hamel back. Matthew Boyd, they lost Kirk Casale, Jake Lamb, and then obviously Kyle Lewis, who they traded away, but they got Cooper Hamel back for him.
They added Teoscar.
I said that.
Oh, yeah.
They added Teoscar. It was a fun offseason for them, and I think their team is better than it was last season.
Yep, it was.
Their pitching,
they have every starting pitcher that they need.
I was going to say, their pitching is going to be good. That's not what you really have to worry about if you're a Mariners fan. Their bullpen has pieces.
Yeah, they do have players in their bullpen, yes.
No, but they have good pieces in their bullpen.
Yeah.
It's no Astros bullpen, I will say that.
No.
But it is pieces.
It's good.
And then their starting rotation, Castillo, Gilbert, Robbie Ray, George Kirby, Marco Gonzalez. That's a complete five. That five can go
That's a complete five in Robbie Ray.
Oh, boy. Well, that five can go up in any playoff series against anyone. Unless it's the Astros. Which is their problem because in order to win the AL West, they would have to beat the Astros a lot. Yep. I think they're going to have a lot of All-Stars next season. J-Rod, Ty France.
Castillo.
What? Yes. Luis Castillo. Yeah.
And Andres Munoz. That's who I think would be the All-Stars.
Yeah. Kelnick.
True.
His jersey is hanging on the wall right now.
What do you mean? That's a Julio jersey.
Yeah, no, that is not a Julio jersey. But I think their goal should be to win the AL West. Yeah. They came in second, now come in first. I know there's a big gap. Obviously, the Astros won 16 more games than them last season. But the foundation is there to put together a surprising season with possibly, if they beat up on the Astros. They weren't good against the best teams in baseball last season. So
True.
We'll see if they can up their game a little bit more.
Go do it, Mariners.
They were 28th in batting average last season.
Jesus.
In all of baseball. Yeah, you might not realize that, but you figure what if they were like 5th in batting average, getting on base a ton more? Could be a different story. No, I'm saying what if they were? It could be a big jump. It could have been added to a few more wins. I'm not saying 16, but that's my resolution for the Mariners.
Fair. Good. Go Mariners.
Next up, we have the who came in third? The Angels came in third. Okay, so for the Angels, don't be frauds. It's as simple as that. Do not be frauds again. Everyone thought last season they were going to be contending for the AL West crown.
And they were for a month and a half.
I will give them that, but don't be frauds. You'll get a full season. Hopefully, knock on wood, you get a full season of healthy Mike Trout. He was incredible in the games he played. He was Mike Trout.
God.
You get Shohei Ohtani. Last year was Shohei Ohtani.
Well,
unless they re-sign him.
Right.
But you got to think, if the Angels are not in the playoff picture come the trade deadline, do they trade Shohei Ohtani? Or do they attempt to?
I think the first step is starting negotiations with him on a contract. And if they can't reach something like a month before the trade deadline, then you look to trade him.
Yeah. I agree.
And if everybody has their head screwed on right and there's no missing pieces, there should be 29 trade offers sitting on the Angels front office desk waiting to try to get accepted.
29 might be a little much.
No, there should be no reason as to why any team on the face of the earth would not want Shohei Ohtani.
Not that they don't want him.
You know what? Even international teams, send your trades over.
Who are the Athletics offering for Shohei Ohtani?
54% of their equity.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, full season of Trout. You're The only issue is, as it always is, your pitching.
Yeah.
Don't think it's going to be great, but just don't be frauds. I mean, have a decent season, put together more than, 73 games, 73 wins next season, because that's abysmal. Yeah, get over 500.
Yeah.
Don't get beat up by the Astros anymore. At least win some games. They went 6-13 against the Astros last season.
And if you're going to get beat up by the Astros, don't then proceed to get beat up by like other teams, like the Red Sox, like the Twins, like the Tigers, like the Reds.
Win against the teams you're supposed to win against.
Yeah, beat the teams that you're supposed to, and if you have to, you're going to have hard fought wins, you're going to have hard fought losses, but there should be no reason as to why the Angels cannot be over 500 this season.
Let Ohtani cook. Let him pitch every game.
Okay.
Starting pitcher, 162 games started. Bats every single game. 175 home runs.
They have a new operation called the Shohei Ohtani operation.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be replacing his arm.
Yeah, just Shohei Ohtani. Use Ohtani as much as you can. That's another one. Just let him...
Play him in the outfield.
I agree.
I miss Shohei in the outfield. It was fun.
Let him do his thing. Yeah. Have a fun season. And don't be complete frauds.
Yeah, there you go. Don't be frauds.
Angels, do not be frauds. Moving on, we're going very quick here today. For the Texas Rangers, who were 68-94 last season, also very underperforming.
Very.
Considering, which is why my New Year's resolution for the Texas Rangers is to use your utilities correctly.
Oh.
Which could maybe be worded a little bit differently with how I'm about to explain this, but basically, don't let all your guys be good at different points in the season, because that is not going to help you. When you look at the two guys they got last season, their pitching is going to be good. Their bullpen might need a little bit more work, but when you look at some people in their lineup last season, Semien and Seager, they're two big acquisitions last offseason.
Right.
Semien in the first half was not good.
Okay.
He was decent, but in the second half, his batting average went up by 20 points, and his OPS went up by, 80 points.
Yeah.
He was good in the second half, not great in the first half. Seager was the exact opposite. Seager batted .251 in the first half with an .804 OPS, 22 homers, 11 doubles. And then in the second half, his batting average went down to .235. His OPS went down to .728. Had only 11 homers. He played 20 less games, but he wasn't hitting 10 homers in 20 games. He got worse in the second half. And I think Semien and Seager, if they could both have full, really good seasons, mixed with that starting pitching, because their starting pitching rotation is going to be very good.
Yeah.
I mean, you have DeGrom, Perez, Evaldi. Why am I blanking?
I don't know.
DeGrom, Perez, Gray, Evaldi, and Heaney. Those guys, that is going to be a very good starting rotation. You need to kind of ride your starters, because their bullpen can blow up on any given day.
Yeah.
So I think you really need to ride your starters as much as you possibly can. And
get healthy seasons out of them.
Exactly, and hope the lineup can also just score as many runs as possible and all be hot just all season. They need to have all of good seasons.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say it's almost you have to get lucky if you're the Rangers, but it does feel like that to a certain extent.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about everybody hitting their stride at the same time, I mean, Marcus Semien, who 2 seasons ago in the Blue Jays was a top 3 MVP finisher, and then he goes to the Rangers, and it took him 44 games to hit his first homer.
Right.
He was known for mashing the ball his entire career, and then it took him 44 games to hit his first home run in Texas, which, I mean, I don't think that that's ever going to happen again, where we're going to see somebody not be able to do that, not be able to hit one homer throughout 44 games to start the season on a Rangers team that desperately needs you to perform, especially. But luckily, this offseason, they made more acquisitions, and they're looking to be more competitive. They've built more of a complete team. So it'll be exciting to watch the Rangers. And I agree with you. Just don't mess it up. Everybody needs to, if they get hot together, stay hot together.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Get hot together, stay hot together. Be hot boys down in Texas.
Hot boy summer down in Texas? God, what's not to like?
All right. Moving on.
Hot boy summer.
All right. Moving on. Down to our final team is the Oakland Athletics,
Oakland Athletics.
Who won 60 games, a whopping 60 games last season. 102 losses. Great time. My New Year's resolution for them is it's a dual resolution, and it makes a lot of sense, and I think everyone's going to agree. There's not much you could say. Move to Vegas and sell the team.
Okay.
That is my New Year's resolution. There's no on the field resolutions for this team. There's no resolution. There's no saving them. There's nothing. Move to Vegas, sell the team, get the hell out of there, restart, get a better owner, just everything.
Okay.
Clear house, be good.
Indoor or outdoor stadium?
Don't care.
No.
As long as you're not in
Answer the
Oakland.
question.
I'll go indoor.
Indoor, retractable roof or permanent
Yes,
roof?
retractable.
Okay. What would you set the air conditioning to?
5.
Excuse me?
5 degrees. I want it to be freezing. I want snow in that stadium. When the roof is closed, I want snow.
Okay.
Artificial snow.
Well, guys, Alex is
you know those giant buildings that have their own atmosphere because they're so big?
Like the one in Florida, like the NASA building?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know there's some giant ass buildings that have their own atmosphere and like their own clouds that form in the building. Yeah, that's what I want the Athletics stadium to be like. The Las Vegas Athletics. Change your name too. Rebrand everything.
Everything.
Clean house.
The Las Vegas Jokers. I would buy a Ricky Henderson Jokers jersey. Be cool.
All right, well, that's my Athletics ones. There's no other explaining. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Pretty self-explanatory.
They suck. They need change. Oakland is not doing it for them. Getting 1,000 fans per game in attendance is just not good. So they're in Vegas. At least they'll get the Vegas people.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Oakland Athletics. That's what you have to do. And yeah, that's it for my New Year's resolutions for the AL West. Any last comments? Any last comments on them?
Astros.
Dominant. They're going to be dominant.
Dominant. Astros dominant. Seattle, have fun. Angels, have fun. Texas, be better.
Texas, be
and
better.
That's the teams that are in the AL West that are worth my time.
I agree. All right. Well, we will see you guys next time. Next, we're doing the NL East, which is going to be tomorrow. And yeah, we will see you guys next time. Peace.